Namaste, everybody. Welcome to Beam meditation session today on Monday. Today we will see how chanting of Om affects brain's regions through vagus nerve, resulting into calmness and relaxation. This is our disclaimer. First of all, let us break our current breathing pattern so our brain can become alert to the new situation, because changing the breathing pattern breaks the flow and we are ready to either react or to respond to the new situation. To break the breathing pattern, as we know, take a few deep breaths slowly. We were talking about epigenetics since last few weeks. It is the study of how our behaviors and environment can cause changes that affect the way our genes work. And unlike genetic changes, epigenetic changes are reversible and do not change our DNA sequence, but they can change how our body reads a DNA sequence. In short, epigenetics means beyond genes or control over genes. Some of the genes can be mechanosensitive. What does it mean? Genes which respond to mechanical stimulation, like sound. The influence of mechanical forces on cells is thought to be mediated by mechanosensitive genes. And there is also cell membrane signaling. Cell membrane signaling involves proteins shaped into receptors embedded in the cell's membrane that biophysically connect the triggers in the external environment to the ongoing dynamic chemistry inside a cell. So these receptors are situated on our cell membrane and they communicate with external environment through some protein. There are also vibrations. Protein biological function depends on structural flexibility and change. From cellular communication through membrane, ion channels to oxygen uptake and delivery by hemoglobin, structural changes are critical. In our body, the structural changes of cell are very critical. And the vibrations that extend through the protein play a crucial role in controlling these structural changes. So any changes in our cells will be mediated through the vibrations. Because each molecule has a sound. As we know that proteins are basic building blocks of life, they are made of 20 amino acids, each encoded by DNA sequences. And proteins are a materialization of the DNA language. Now we can hear this language by calculating the vibrational frequencies of the molecules making up the proteins. So each molecule has a sound, and we can hear the sound of that molecule by calculating the vibrational frequencies of those molecules making up the proteins. Now, each vibrates due to temperature at a unique spectrum and as a well-defined sound. We also know that plants respond to sounds, and there was a study where plants were exposed to sound vibrations of 10 kilohertz. They showed abundant H3K27ME3, which is an epigenetic modification to the DNA packaging protein histone H3, leading to transcriptional changes in plant cell that promote immunity. We also know that music can lead to several effects in human cells, in culture, altering cell cycle, proliferation, viability, and binding of hormone. Now this was the background of today's talk. Now we come on to the main subject. In Upanishad and in Vedas, in Sanatan's culture, there is a word called Nad Brahma. Nad means sound. Brahma means expanded or the absolute, like Aham Brahmasmi, Ayamatma Brahma. That Brahma means expanded or the absolute. In Vedic and Upanishadic philosophy, sound is called Brahma, the absolute. Nad Brahma means Nad Eva Brahma, or sound is Brahma, the absolute. The second meaning of Nad Brahma is Nadena Brahma, one that has been expanded by the sound. And that is called Nad Brahma. In Sanskrit, every vowel can be pronounced in 18 ways. There are three types to pronounce a vowel. Vowel means A, E, I, O, U in English. There are two manners to pronounce a vowel, and there are three accents to pronounce a vowel. So 3 times 2 times 3 is equal to 18 ways to pronounce a vowel. Now 3 types to pronounce a vowel. First is Raswam, is short. It is called one matra, which take about 0.4 second to pronounce. Dirgha means long, which has 2 matras, which would take 0.8 second to pronounce. And third is Plutam, is prolonged, which has 3 matras, and that would take 1.2 seconds to pronounce. It's like and ah. There are 3 accents to pronounce a vowel. One is Udatta, high-pitched or raised. Anudatta, low-pitched or not raised. And Swarita is sounded or falling pitch, which generally follows after Udatta, after high pitch. And there are 2 manners to pronounce a vowel. One is oral or mukha, which you speak. And second is nasika or nasal, that goes through nose. In Upanishad, Om iti ekaksharam Brahma Om is a one-syllable Brahma. What is Om? A-U-M. You might have seen the spelling O-M because A plus U becomes O. That is why some people would write O-M. But originally is A, U, and Ma. Now A has one matra or 0.4 seconds to pronounce. U has two. And Ma is one matra. Sometimes you also see this symbol O, 3, Ma. It means that it should take 3 matras or 1.2 seconds to pronounce O and then Ma. A study on chanting Om using functional magnetic resonance imaging, fMRI, the neurohemodynamic correlates, which measures of blood oxygenation in brain regions of audible Om, were examined in healthy volunteers. The Om chanting condition was compared with pronunciation of as well as a rest state where there will be no pronunciation. fMRI analysis was done using statistical parametric mapping 5, SPM5. Now we know that vagal nerve stimulation is used as treatment in depression and epilepsy. In this procedure, electrical stimulus is applied over the inner part of the left tragus. You can see the tragus. And because of that, the auricular branch of the vagus nerve is stimulated. A PAT study has shown decreased blood flow to limbic brain regions during direct vagal nerve stimulation. When you pierce the tragus, this is what happens. Another fMRI study has shown significant deactivation of limbic brain regions during transcutaneous, means across the depth of the skin, vagal nerve stimulation. Same effect. Effective Om chanting is associated with the experience of vibration sensation around the ears. And such a sensation is also transmitted through the auricular branch of the vagus nerve. And like transcutaneous vagal nerve stimulation, when you pierce the tragus, the Om chanting evokes similar neurohemodynamic correlates and deactivation of the limbic brain regions, amygdala, hippocampus, parahippocampal gyrus, insula, orbitofrontal, anterior cingulate cortices, and thalamus. All these brain regions are affected when you chant Om mantra or the Om syllable. And this is scientifically proven through PAT and fMRI, means from scanning and MRI results. Now this study was devised like this: 15 seconds rest, 15 seconds Om chanting, 15 seconds rest, and 15 seconds the sound of or hissing sound, you can say. And this is the result on scans and MRI. Compared to rest, Om chanting produced deactivation of all those brain regions we have seen before, whereas control condition hissing sound produced no deactivation in any of these regions. Now, what does deactivation do in these regions? It gives you by stimulating the vagal nerve, it gives us calmness and relaxation. The same effect by electrical stimulation to tragus can be seen with chanting of Om. Chanting of Om affects brain's regions through vagal nerve, resulting into calmness and relaxation. How do we pronounce Om? If you try, what you would say, you will just say Om. You will say Om. And you can feel that you are actually pronouncing it through your lips. As simple as that. But actually, A starts from navel. O towards throat, and or ma through nasal. This is the right way to pronounce Om. So how would you pronounce it? You must first say A, U, Ma. Breathe out and then say A. When you say A, you can feel that your navel is going inside. That is pushing the breath out from your navel. And then you say U, you can feel that it's traveling through all your chest, abdomen towards your throat. And then you say Ma, which is half Ma without vowel, when your lips will be then closed. So it would be Om, Om. This is the right way to pronounce Om. But not just like Om, it should be like Om. And this stimulates the vagal nerve, resulting into calmness and relaxation. As we know that meditation means to be in the present, in here and in now, and focusing on a singular point. You can also focus on Om. It downregulates and upregulates many genes. It silences pro-inflammatory genes and proteins. All these scientific benefits we have seen since last few weeks. It trains our 175 neurons to adapt the watch and wait policy. It controls the release of hormones. Meditation is not a religious practice. It's all about seizing the moment. It's all about you. It's all about you to be in here and in now. No past impressions, no future anxieties, just the present. Because you live only in the present. The past is gone, and the future only arrives as the present. Out of 1,440 minutes, we only need to spend 10 minutes to tune with ourselves anywhere, anytime. So let us practice meditation today. You know what to do. Slowly come out from your meditation. Namaste, everybody. We have seen some scientific benefits today about chanting Om. And if you have observed that whenever someone starts reciting any mantras or any hymns or any prayers, Vedic prayers, they always start with Om. And when you finish reciting mantras, they always end with Om. Science is still catching up, very infancy about finding out the secrets or the benefits of ancient cultures. But whatever they are trying to do is simply prove that the ancient wisdom was far advanced. And chanting Om, the benefit of chanting Om, and also other mantras, they are very beneficial to our psychological and physical health. Today's topic is about journey. In fact, there is no journey. If you see in different faiths or different religions or different principles or philosophies or theologies, there is always a traveling. And everybody who is following any particular faith, they always prepare for their future journey, their future life or the afterlife. Landing in the heaven or in any Godhead's abodes. There are so many different beliefs about traveling from this life to other life. In some faith, there are also timing. That after death, the individual soul just hovers around for a few days or sometimes few months even. And then it travels through so many destinations. And there would be some kind of guides or angels taking them from one destination to another destination. And at the end, they arrive at their final destination. In some faith, they believe that there is a waiting time. Even if you died today, or if somebody died, say, 1,000 years ago, there's a waiting time in the grave. That you have to wait for the day of judgment or the day of annihilation. And then all the souls will be judged. And according to their deeds on this life, they will be sent to different destiny. All these kind of theologies or principles or beliefs. What is the bottom line? Bottom line is there that one has to travel. There is a journey. And second thing, wherever you are, you have to move ahead to somewhere else, which is a better place. So the unfulfillment is the bottom line. All the travelings are nothing but the unfulfillment. All the travelings are nothing but the unfulfilled desires of getting or finding some better state or better place. In Upanishad, there is an opening mantra. It starts with Om Purna Midam. All this is absolute or fulfilled or full or whole. Purna Madaha. This is absolute, that is absolute. Purnat Purnam Udachyate. If you take out the absolute from the absolute, or if you add absolute into absolute, Purnam eva avasishyate. Still, only the absolute remains. Because everything is absolute, absolutely absolute. So there is no unfulfillment. When we say we have to travel somewhere else, even in this life or after this life, it simply means that we are still seeking. We are not happy where we are. And that's why we look forward for a better place. In spirituality, there is no journey. There is no traveling. Because there are no unsatisfied desires. There are no desires at all. There is no unfulfillment. Whenever and wherever we think about traveling, a journey, or going to better state or better place, it simply means that we haven't understood the spirituality. We are here in now and as an absolute. No desires, no unfulfillment, no traveling, no journey. Because, as Upanishad says, where would you go? Because you are everywhere. And that is why, when we say there is no journey in spirituality, it simply means that you are the absolute. Thank you very much. If anyone would like to share their wisdom, please unmute yourself and do so. Thank you. Thank you, Ranjani ji. There is no recommended time. Ranjani ji is asking what is the recommended time for chanting Om in a day, any time. But obviously, when we wake up in the morning, that would be very quiet and peaceful. And because we have rested overnight and fresh in the morning, that would be more easier and helpful to chant and concentrate on Om or any sort of meditation.
Thanks a lot, Vijay.
Thank you.
So you had a nice selection of music, and I was gone, just coming out. So thanks a lot for such a nice experience. Thank you,
Thank you.
and thank you, masters, for being here together. And we will meet back tomorrow morning, 6 a.m. Yeah. I think Ushaji wants to talk. Sorry, friends. Yeah, you can. You should be able to unmute yourself, Usha.
Yeah, thank you, Ram. Thank you, Vijayji, for the yet another wonderful session. I have a short question in regarding to Om. I have heard when I was doing or learning yoga from my local yoga teacher, he often mentioned that your Om is nothing but, or Om is the sound which saints in the previous or saints or sages have discovered that it is the sound of the universe. How I was always curious that how did they come to this derivation that this is the sound of the universe, or can if you have some can you throw some light on it, please?
We do not know that how the ancient sages or saints or rishis had come to this conclusion. They have mentioned that Om iti ekaksharam Brahma. That simply means that the Om, the sound Om, is Brahma. Now, Brahma is like we say absolute or the expanded ones or the entire universe. Now, as I have mentioned before, that there are 18 ways to pronounce a vowel, and there would be this science of sound in the past discovered or experienced by rishis, that everything can be generated or created and destroyed by the vibrations of sound. And and more, if you can, why they have chosen that, I do not have any clue because we do not have any research papers on them. And most of the research is done by the sages or the rishis. And they were, through generations, they were actually passed to mouth, or, like they are called shrutis. That means that we have heard from our ancestors. There would there could be or there would have been some detailed researches in the ancient India, but unfortunately, the invaders from the desert Middle East have destroyed the entire, you can say, the knowledge bank of ancient knowledge in 11th century. For example, Nalanda was this world university in Bihar, and Taxashila was in near Lahore in today's Pakistan. And when one of the invaders burnt down these Nalanda universities, there were three high-rise buildings full of books, and separated with like one building was only for the research, the other building for only manuscripts or the proven researches, and the third one was ongoing research. all these 3 buildings were destroyed and the fire burned for 3 months, destroying more than 2 million books. So all this knowledge have gone, but whatever is left, we only have to believe that the people who did such research or experience through their meditation would have very solid reasons for their conclusion. And as Upanishad says, that Om is the Ekaksharam Brahma, is one syllable Brahma, or the one syllable absolute. It simply means that by chanting it differently, with different accents and different manners, and with different raised or not raised voices, it could be possible that that sound would have created and will be destroying all the existence through vibrations of Om. But we do not have any research from the ancient, and the scientists, today's scientists are still trying to figure out the ancient wisdom of India. But end of the day, what it helps, that it helps and it works. So I think that would be enough for us to just follow whatever have been told.
Absolutely. Thank you. Yeah, I was just curious because, yeah, sometimes you don't get answers right away. And yeah, this fragment of question mark always is like tagged at the behind. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Correct.
Thank you, Usha. And Vijay, shall we end?
Yes, yeah, we can conclude. Yes.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you again. And Masters, we meet tomorrow morning, 6 o'clock for a meditation. And now there is also a group meditation that is happening from, let's say, taken care from Delhi by Master Madhumita and team. So it's a 3 hours meditation for 40 days that had been now I think over a week that's happening. So in case you would like to join that group, the details are shared in the WhatsApp groups. So please do join there. Thank you. Namaste.
Namaste.